First and foremost, I want to say that this video is going to have more of a serious tone. My channel typically does comedy videos, and I don't mean comedy in like, oh my god, this is so funny, let me share it on Facebook. I mean like, oh, that's kind of clever, a chuckle or two. I don't know, I typically do videos just sharing my personal life experiences and my opinions on social issues. I kind of tend to make a joke of myself and just talk about serious stuff in a lighthearted tone. However, a few days ago, I uploaded a video where I talk about my vegan diet, and for the first time ever. And in that video, I also included how I happened to eat 2 chicken wings for the first time in like over a year. And I didn't feel guilty about it. So in explaining my rationale to why I didn't feel guilty because they were gonna go to waste, some people found a big problem with that. And I understand it. I get the point of view. However, since it was a comedy video, I feel it didn't have enough context. So I wanna make this video to reply to comments directly and kind of say why I still consider myself a vegan despite what I did. So please listen before you dislike and comment all your anger. Sorry babe, you fell off the vegan bandwagon. Make up your own label and call it quits. The vegan community doesn't take kindly to people trampling on the rules. Please, okay, by the way, please show me the rule book, because I was just making a comedy video and I didn't realize that it would make so many people angry. This is my serious video, like genuinely asking for just more resources, because I tried Googling, I watched some vegan YouTubers, and it seems like a lot of vegan YouTubers just kind of like pick on each other, and it seems like that's what's going on this video that wasn't even meant to be taken all that seriously. I thought I had mostly a meat-eating audience, which is why I made that exaggeration on the chicken wing thing. And the way you talked about chicken, oh here we go, seemed like you couldn't give it up. I haven't had chicken wings since May of 2016. That's when I decided to eat no more meat. That's when I went pescatarian. I relapsed, I guess you could call it. I reset the clock, but I don't understand how you guys like are so intense that like, sorry, you fell off the bandwagon, can't get back on. I haven't eaten chicken or any sort of meat since then, and that was the only meat that I ate since last year, so I can't get back on the bandwagon? Come on guys, let me back. I'm sorry, I said this was gonna be a serious video. Plus, you're much better being in your own box than anyone else's, and if the name is cool enough, we'd all wanna follow suit. Much love, Edwin. Here's the problem with this logic, and I got quite a few comments telling me that, hey, make up your own name, but you can't sit with us. Another joke, okay? Don't take it seriously. If I were to say something like I'm a freegatarian or something, a stranger, a family member, a friend would not get it at all. I would have to start explaining it, and it would be so confusing. It would be so much more a pain in the butt. But when I say I'm vegan, a lot of people get it, and so many people still don't get the term vegan. And the thing is, most people will never see me eat a piece of meat because I don't do it. I literally don't do it. I did it. I ate 2 chicken wings 2 weeks ago. I remember what chicken wings tasted like when I enjoyed them, and I tasted again, and it still tasted good. Like, to me, taste buds just don't go away. Like, if I enjoyed something 2 weeks ago and I taste it again, it's still gonna taste similar to me. I don't understand how vegans have this mentality that it's like, oh, I saw the torture, so it no longer tastes good. Like, I'm sorry. Look, I understand it. I've seen the videos and everything, but it still tastes good. I know, I'm gonna get hate for this too, but it's just not how it works. Like, if you wanna get people on your side, you don't just bash them. You have to empathize with them. I feel like we need to acknowledge that there is some sacrifices to be made, you know? Like, just because it tastes good doesn't mean we need it. Like, we don't require a real chicken wing. We have that little substitute. Look, I wanna be very clear that I don't want this to become a hostile environment. I want you guys, if you're gonna disagree with me, please try to be really kind about it. Like, you're supposed to be kind and compassionate towards animals. Be kind and compassionate towards another human being that's on your side, essentially. Huh. This doesn't make any sense. If you eat meat, you're not vegan, lol. There's not ethical way of consuming meat or purchasing it unless you're having financial trouble. I'm having financial trouble. I'm vegan again. Even though my morals are to not waste food, it doesn't mean that every single time I see leftovers that are about to go to waste, I'm like, wait, it's gonna go in my mouth disposal. Like, I'm not like that. If I was like that, I wouldn't be so skinny, right? Vegans don't eat meat because they are fundamentally against exploitation and cruelty towards animals. The problem with your scenario is that even if you're not buying it yourself, you're still eating animal flesh and viewing animals as products, which they are not. They are living sentient beings, not food. I gotta say, this is actually a really good comment. I mean, I don't know if it's total fact that all vegans must live by this. Jessica, I think it's great that you went vegan for the animals and everything. I wouldn't say I went 100% vegan for the animals. I care about the animals greatly. I avoid buying animal products, etc., of course. Maybe I don't feel the same amount of compassion that you do, but I still feel the compassion. I say this as a learning YouTuber, as a learning human being, because obviously my channel is not, I never claimed expertise over veganism at all. Like I said earlier, I mostly do just comedic twist on my personal opinions. But I'm sincerely asking, are all vegans supposed to just love animals and care so much about their flesh and everything? Because when I see it about to go to waste, I like, what can you do? You just throw it in the trash? Throw it in the trash? How is that any better? That's what I'm asking myself. That's my dilemma. As bad as it sounds, I would rather this animal in my stomach than in the waste bin. I just don't see how eating it makes it any worse than seeing it in the trash. There are vegans that have leather products from before they went vegan, so should they also waste those products according to your logic? Should they not wear it because it came from a living animal? It can all become a really slippery slope, but that's the reason, the main big reason why I see it that way. Do you forget meat and dairy are carcinogens, aka they can give you cancer? It's not only bad to consume meat for the environment and ethical reasons, but eating dairy and meat is one of the worst things you can do for your health. You're just making an excuse so you can eat other people's leftovers. Why not give it to a homeless man or someone that actually is in need and hungry? So you want me to give a homeless man cancer? Is that your logic right there? That doesn't make any sense to me. I also watched the What the Health documentary, okay? So I know what you're talking about, but if you look into it, yes, processed meat is a level 1 carcinogen, but you wanna know what else is a level 1 carcinogen? Alcohol. It's not that intense. Unless you consume it in heavily amounts, yes, it will raise your chances of getting cancer. But yeah, next time rethink your comment. You can't use a scare tactic into you're getting cancer and then say you should give cancer to someone else. Katia says, you're vegan? You're so likable though. Glad to see likable vegans exist. Now, just because I'm also highlighting some really intense comments at me, I wanna reiterate that I got a lot of really supportive vegan comments. Like a lot of people just accept me, and it doesn't have to be so militant. At least that's my point of view. Of course, I've only been vegan since like March or so. But even so, a lot of the vegans, most of the vegans that I've met are really cool. Really cool. I'm dating a vegan actually, so meat belongs in a graveyard, not your stomach. Their remains are not leftovers, it's not food, it's their flesh for the soul. So you consider a waste bin, a landfill, their graveyard? That's what you think is better for the animal? John D says, you are committing an act of disservice to the community. Now, John, I could argue that you're committing an act of disservice to your vegan community because here you are being completely disdainful towards me without any sort of explanation. But you know, people are allowed their opinions. Some people believe that I'm gonna scare people away from turning vegan. If you think that my admission to eating some leftover chicken and calling myself a vegan is a disservice to the community, then I just don't see how. Because I feel like people that want to go vegan should really start off by transitioning. And if every now and then they need to relapse, what is wrong with that? It's a freaking leftover. No, I don't even know why I keep calling it a leftover. It's literal trash. It was ready to go in the waste bin. This is something that was taken home, eaten over the course of 2 days, and then about to be thrown out on the 3rd day, and I ate it. I salvaged that. I've had friends literally starve themselves, their face drooping in low energy because they were starving themselves all day because they didn't know how to eat. They don't know how to be vegan, but they just want to go cold turkey vegan. So if there's anything that I want my non-vegan subscribers to take away from this, is that you can just like ease into anything, you know, just ease into anything. Just do what Jared Leto did. He a Chigan. I appreciate someone calling me a Chigan much more than I appreciate someone saying, then you're not vegan, and continue to insult. Okay, I cheated, but it's not like I did it with the intention of, I wonder what meat tastes like. If you don't feel bad for eating meat, then why are you vegan? Is it for health? I do feel bad. It's not something I'm proud of. I wasn't trying to brag about or boast about it. That exaggeration, I did it for comedic purposes. And I wasn't trying to trigger vegans. I was just trying to relate to like meat eaters, which meat eaters can understand that chicken wings taste good. And I'm sorry to vegans that had their memory deleted, but guess what? Chicken wings still taste good. But just as I feel bad for eating meat, I also feel bad for letting food go to waste. So it was a mental struggle at that point. And I decided to give in and eat the meat. So you could call it a relapse, whatever you call it. But at this point in time, I can't exactly see the logic on how one is better than the other. As to why I went vegan, I would love to make a video about that, but much more in the future when everybody cools down from this whole vegan week. Thanks for the video, Edwin. I personally know a lot of vegans who are afraid to open up about their diets because they're afraid of the backlash when they eat small amounts of animal products. I personally feel veganism can be a loose spectrum. I couldn't agree more. I feel like the whole 100% or get out ideology is a little extreme because even then you could really pick at their own ideologies, right? Like, sure, vegans eat a lot of fruits, but what about the fruits and vegetables you get from the supermarkets? Are you making sure you get like locally grown fruits and vegetables, or are you getting the ones that the Mexicans that are really suffering and being treated horribly are getting for you? Which ones are you getting? The cheap ones or the really expensive ones? Because if you're getting really expensive ones, you also need to acknowledge that you're a privileged vegan, because that's not really an attainable, conceivable concept for many, in my opinion. I could be wrong. You can disagree with me. Just don't crucify me. I'm not saying I disagree or agree, but you'd eat dead bodies for the sake of not throwing them away, yet you generously peel your cucumber. There, unpeeled. Are you happy? Clark says, eat my vegan meat, daddy. Ooh, Clark? Is it Gardein or... Oh, it's probably penis. The reason why I even introduced me being a vegan is because I want to share that part of my life and I want to do more videos about veganism. But I definitely now know to take more precautions in my wording, and definitely gonna wait at least a few weeks for the next vegan video. Alright, I'm gonna wrap up the video. I just want to cover up all my bases on why I still consider myself a vegan. To be totally clear, I only ate those 2 chicken wings for the first time in over a year, and I'm not eating any more chicken wings, nor am I planning on it. And not because of the video either, it's just not something I do. It's just something that I happen to do, and I slipped up. You could call it a slip up, a little vegan reset. If you want to reset my vegan clock, then fine. I've no longer been a vegan since like February, March. Now I've been a vegan since 2 weeks ago. I don't think it's that big of a deal to like keep a timer or whatever. At the end of the day, it's about reaching more people and doing better for the earth, isn't it? I mean, that's what I thought. But maybe I got it twisted. Maybe I got my panties in a bunch. Limp Bizkit rocking the set. It's like Russian roulette when you're broken. Sorry guys, I had to make the video a little weird. It was too serious for too long. Alright, I hope I covered everything. If you watched it this far, please give me a like. Come on, even if you disagree, it'll be good karma. And if you like my personality, watch a couple other videos. And if you like those videos, then subscribe. And if you don't, then thanks for watching a couple other videos. Alright, see you guys next week.